How the arrest of the military's top lawyer over a leaked abuse video has rocked Israel. For several hours, Israel held its collective breath. The military's top lawyer had disappeared 2 days after she resigned amid a legal inquiry into her role in exposing an explosive prisoner abuse scandal. The former military advocate general, Major General Yifat Tomer-Yerushalmi, sparked a frantic police search amid fears for her well-being in a case that consumed the country while striking at the heart of a deep divisions over U.S. allies' conduct in its war in Gaza. Although she was found safe hours later, she was subsequently arrested Sunday for her role in the leak of a video showing alleged sexual abuse in a notorious Israeli prison, sparking a public reckoning on how Israel's caustic culture wars are deepening its political fault lines and upending lives away from its battlefields. The lawyer was detained after she acknowledged in her resignation letter Friday that she had approved the leak of the video that she showed Israeli soldiers allegedly abusing a Palestinian detainee last year at a military prison in order to counter the false propaganda directed against the military law enforcement authorities. It's our duty to investigate whenever there's a reasonable suspicion of acts of violence against a detainee, she said. The lawyer was arrested on suspicion of fraud, breach of trust, abuse of office, obstruction of justice, and disclosure of official information by a public servant, according to Israeli media. At the same time, Chief Minister Prosecutor Colonel Matan Solamish was also detained on some other charges. Israel police did not immediately respond to NBC's news request for comment on the charges. Those videos, man, go ahead.
Yeah, we've seen the videos. Remember, Wes, we reported on this before. You know what I'm saying? There was a guy that was doing it before over there. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of detainees because they weren't prisoners. They were detained. They just snatched them up. They didn't have nothing to do with anything. And they brought the guy on the news. He said, I'm allowed to do it. It's in my religion. Because in their religion, in this place, this religion, they say everybody else is nothing to them. You know what I'm saying? They are supposed to be the chosen people. So everybody, if they feel like raping you, they can sexually assault you. They can whatever they feel like doing. They took that guy, brought him on TV, had a parade for him and everything. And now they got the videos with the people with the shields and stuff just taking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's sickening. It's sickening, bro. Excuse me. I know it's sickening, right? But the whole thing is they've committed so many war crimes. They're committing a genocide right now. It's, we don't even have time to pay attention to that genocide anymore, which is a cold peace. And the whole thing is the only country that can stop them is America. And America's not going to stop them because they're like, America's gonna be like, hold my beer.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got plenty enough blood on our hands and war crimes to account for on our own. But this is just a sickening situation. You have these people being paraded as heroes. They're going online with other, whether they're lawyers or other politicians from Israel. The guys who actually did the essay have masks on, and they're getting to talk and be heard as not being abusers or being people who are just should be looked at as outside of the regular or of the normal of a person or animals. They should be looked at as animals, but they're being viewed as people, as they're being allowed to tell their story. I mean, Benjamin Netanyahu acts like, I hope that there will be some kind of outside inquiry. He acts like he has no power over this, but you have the power to kill hundreds of thousands of people in Gaza. You had that power. You didn't care. You showed everyone that you would disregard any law, international law, the law of your land, even people within your own country asking you not to go in there and just commit a genocide such as you did. But you had all the power then to do what you wanted to do. But now you have to beg and ask for an inquiry. It just sounds weird to me. You know what your people are. You know what your troops are. You know what you've allowed them to do. You know what you've ordered them to do. You should all be a part of it. That's why when you leave your country from now on, you better take different flight paths like you did the last time you went to America. You didn't fly over certain countries that you knew if your plane needed to emergency land, you would be arrested immediately. You know that. And so I hope that this continues. I hope they keep pushing for this to happen. To anyone who leaves that country who is a part of it, they should be looked at as Nazi war criminals and treated as such, in my eyes.
Exactly, especially IDF soldiers. All of them. They're out there killing children, killing women, sexually assaulting men, women. There was a man they did it to. That's the cold thing about it. Who imagine what they were doing to the women they were just locking up. And imagine these guys are in full gear. Just ran in there in full gear. Was like, they sat out there was like, what we should go do? We should go do this. And they was like, yeah, let's go do it in full gear. Full gear.
And so everyone else can hear you know what that does to a person. Like you're basically trying to take away any dignity, any, I mean, that if we don't start treating these people, and this is why we were talking about this a little bit earlier about, you know, the whole offline about the whole groper movement and everything that's going on within the right. You know, they're everyone, people are against what's going on with our government and what's going on in Israel as well. And it's starting to be a push into the right as a cultural thing too. A Heritage Foundation just backed Nick Fuentes. That's going to be a big story because right now Israel's starting to lose its ally in the United States. They're going to have to run somewhere else. Something's going to have to happen. They're going to have to do some type of a big scare. That's their whole entire. That's their MO. The big scare, the propaganda, whatever else, because they already have all this down. But this is going to be a story that we need to keep watching. They've arrested the lawyer who actually leaked it. It's just like Snowden and the rest of these guys.
They're not upset about them doing it. They're upset that she put the business out in the streets.
Yeah, that this is what we're doing.
This is what we're doing to these prisoners. And so, we're going to keep an eye on this one.